Nobody talks about this hotel, and there's a reason why. It looks normal at first. Quiet hallways, soft lights, empty rooms waiting in silence. But if you stay long enough, you might start to notice something. Nothing loud, nothing frightening, just small things. A door that wasn't open before. Footsteps when no one is there. A feeling like the hotel remembers you. Tonight, we're not rushing anywhere. We're simply walking through this quiet place, slowly, calmly. And maybe, by the time this story ends, you'll already be asleep before you understand what felt so different. Arrival at the quiet hotel. The road to the hotel is longer than expected, not because of distance, but because of how quiet everything feels. The sound of the car fades slowly as you turn off the main road. Gravel replaces pavement, a soft, uneven texture beneath the wheels. There are no streetlights here, only the faint glow of the sky above and the outline of trees standing still on either side. The night is calm, not empty, but settled, as if the world here moves at a slower pace. The hotel appears gradually, not all at once. First, a shape, then structure, then detail. A building that feels older than it should be. Not abandoned, not broken, but untouched. Like it has been here for a very long time without needing to change. The lights inside are warm, soft, not bright. They do not reach far beyond the walls. They simply exist, contained. You step out of the car. The air is cooler here, still. No wind, no distant noise, just the faint sound of gravel shifting under your feet. You look toward the entrance. Large wooden doors, closed, but not unwelcoming, just quiet. There is no sign, no name glowing above, no movement inside, and yet you know this is the place. You walk forward, slowly. The ground feels steady. The silence remains unbroken. Even your footsteps feel softer here, as if the place absorbs sound instead of reflecting it. The doors open with very little effort, no resistance, no creaking, just a smooth, quiet movement. Inside, the air changes, warmer, softer. The scent is subtle, something like old wood mixed with something clean but hard to place. The lobby is empty. At first glance, a wide space, high ceiling, dim lighting. Everything arranged neatly, but nothing feels new. A long desk stands at the far end. Behind it, someone is there. Not moving, not speaking, just present. You walk closer. Your footsteps echo slightly now, but even that echo feels controlled, like it doesn't travel far. The person behind the desk looks up, slowly. No surprise, no expression of curiosity, just acknowledgement, as if they were expecting you. Checking in, they ask. Their voice is calm, even, not welcoming, not cold, just neutral. You nod. There is no need to say much. They already seem to understand. A key is placed on the desk. Not a card, a real key, attached to a small metal tag. The number is simple. Room 12. You don't remember giving your name. You don't remember any questions being asked. And yet, everything feels complete. The person gestures slightly toward the hallway. No explanation, no directions, just a quiet indication. You take the key. It feels cool in your hand, heavier than expected. You turn toward the hallway. Long, straight, lined with doors on both sides. Each one identical, each one closed. The lights above are spaced evenly, soft yellow, not flickering, not bright, just enough to see. You begin walking, step by step, the carpet soft beneath your feet. The sound nearly disappears again. Door numbers pass slowly. 8, 9, 10. There is no sound from any room, no voices, no movement, just silence. You reach room 12. The key fits perfectly. The door opens without resistance. Inside, the room is simple. A bed, a small table, a chair near the window. Everything in place, everything still. The window is covered, curtains drawn. The air feels slightly warmer here, more contained. You step inside, close the door. The sound is soft, almost non-existent. You place the key on the table. It rests there, quietly. Nothing feels wrong, nothing feels unusual. And yet, there is a feeling, very small, very distant, like something is slightly different, but not enough to understand. You sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress shifts gently. The room remains silent. No outside noise, no hallway sound, nothing, just stillness. You lean back. The ceiling above is plain, unmarked, unmoving. Time begins to slow. Not because anything has changed, but because nothing is happening. And in that nothing, something begins. Very quietly, very slowly. Something you don't notice yet. Something that does not need attention. Because here, in this quiet hotel, nothing ever announces itself.
The first night feels slightly different. The room remains still. Not silent in a heavy way, but quiet in a way that feels complete. As if nothing is missing. As if nothing needs to happen. You remain seated for a while. Not because you were tired, but because there is no reason to move. The air is warm, even, comfortable. It does not shift. There is no draft from the window, no sound from the hallway, no distant hum of activity, just a steady presence of stillness. You lie back slowly. The bed responds gently. The mattress holds your weight without resistance. It feels neither soft nor firm, just balanced. Your eyes move toward the ceiling again. There is nothing to focus on. No patterns, no cracks, no movement. And yet your mind continues to observe, waiting for something, but nothing arrives. Minutes pass, or at least it feels like minutes. Time is harder to measure here. There is no clock on the wall, no ticking sound, no digital display glowing in the corner. Only the quiet. You turn your head slightly. The table remains where you left it. The key rests in the same place, unmoved. The chair by the window stands still. The curtains do not shift. There is no wind outside. You sit up again. Not suddenly, just slowly. A small movement in a still room. You notice something then. Very small. So small it almost feels like imagination. The air feels slightly different. Not colder, not warmer, just different. You pause, listening. But there is nothing to hear. No footsteps, no voices, no doors opening or closing. Only your own breathing. Slow, even. You stand, walk toward the window. Each step is quiet. The carpet absorbs the sound. You reach for the curtain. Your hand pauses for a moment. Not out of fear, just hesitation. Then you pull it back slightly. Outside, the night remains dark, still. The same trees you passed earlier, standing in place, unmoving. There are no lights beyond the hotel, no distant buildings, no passing cars, just darkness. You let the curtain fall back into place. The room feels the same again, or at least almost the same. You return to the bed, sit down, then lie back once more. Your eyes begin to close, not because you are fully tired, but because the quiet invites it. Sleep comes slowly, gently. There is no resistance, no racing thoughts, just a gradual fading, as if the room itself encourages rest. Your breathing deepens, the body relaxes, the mind softens. And somewhere between waking and sleep, you notice something again. A sound, very faint. So faint it almost disappears the moment you notice it. A soft shift. Not from inside the room, not clearly from outside either. Just somewhere. You open your eyes. The room remains unchanged, still, quiet. Nothing has moved, nothing is out of place. You listen again. Nothing. The silence returns fully. You close your eyes once more. Sleep takes you again. Deeper this time, more complete. Time passes, unnoticed, unmeasured. And then, at some point during the night, you feel something. Not a sound, not a movement, just a feeling. As if the room is aware, not watching, not observing in a clear way, but present, more present than before. You do not wake fully. You do not sit up. You remain in that space between waking and awareness, where thoughts do not form clearly, where feelings exist without explanation,
And in that space, the quiet becomes something more. Not louder, not heavier, just deeper. Like a layer beneath everything, holding the room together, holding you within it. There is no fear, no sudden reaction, just a slow recognition that this place is not entirely empty. Even in silence, even in stillness, something exists. Soft, unclear, unnamed. And yet it does nothing. It does not approach, it does not move. It simply remains, as if it has always been there, as if it always will be. Your breathing remains steady. Your body does not react. Sleep continues. And eventually, you drift deeper, beyond awareness, beyond thought, back into complete rest. The night continues around you, unchanged, unbroken. And somewhere within that quiet, something stays. Patient, still, unnoticed. The morning that feels exactly the same. Morning arrives quietly, not with brightness, not with movement, and not with any clear signal that the night has ended. You open your eyes slowly. There is no sudden awareness, no sharp transition from sleep to waking, just a gradual return, as if you were never fully asleep, only resting beneath the surface. The room looks the same, exactly the same. Nothing has changed. The ceiling above you remains still, blank, unmarked. The light in the room is soft, but it does not feel like sunlight. It does not come from a clear direction. It simply exists, filling the space evenly. You sit up slowly. The bed shifts beneath you, a quiet movement, contained. The air feels familiar, warm, still, unmoving. You look toward the table. The key remains where you left it, room 12. The metal surface catches a small amount of light, but not enough to shine, just enough to be noticed. The chair by the window is unchanged. The curtains are still closed, exactly as before. There is no sound outside, no indication of morning activity, no footsteps in the hallway, no distant voices, no doors opening or closing, nothing. You stand. Your movement feels slower than usual, not heavy, not difficult, just unhurried, as if the space itself does not allow urgency. You walk toward the window again, each step quiet, soft. The carpet absorbs everything. You reach for the curtain, pause, just briefly, then pull it aside. The outside is visible now, but something feels unusual. The light is there, but it is not bright. The sky is pale, almost colorless. There is no direct sunlight, no shadows, no movement in the trees. They stand exactly as they did the night before, still, unchanging. You look closer, trying to notice something different, anything, but nothing stands out. It is morning, and yet it does not feel like morning. You let the curtain fall back. The room returns to its previous state. Soft light, still air, no movement. You turn toward the door. There is no reason to stay inside, but there is no strong reason to leave either. Still, you move forward.
The handle turns easily. The door opens without sound. The hallway is there, just as before. Long, straight, lined with identical doors. The lights above remain the same, soft yellow, evenly spaced. You step outside. The door behind you closes quietly. You do not hear it latch, but you know it has. You begin walking. The carpet beneath your feet feels familiar, each step silent. You pass room 11, room 10. The numbers are clear, but nothing about them feels important. They are simply there, marking space, nothing more. You stop for a moment. Listen. The hallway remains completely silent. No one passes. No doors open. No sounds from within the rooms. It feels as if you are the only one here. But you remember the person at the desk. They were real, present. You continue walking toward the lobby. The space opens gradually. The hallway gives way to a wider area. The same desk stands at the far end, and once again, someone is there, in the same position, behind the desk, still, calm, as if they have not moved since the night before. You approach slowly. They look up, at the same moment as before, not early, not late, exactly when you arrive. "Did you sleep well?" they ask. Their voice is unchanged, even, neutral. You consider the question, but there is no clear answer. You slept, that much is certain, but how well? You nod slightly. It feels like the easiest response. They nod back, as if that is enough. No further questions, no conversation. The moment passes. You look around the lobby, trying to notice something new, but everything remains the same. The furniture, the lighting, the stillness. Nothing has shifted. Nothing feels different. And yet, there is something. A small feeling, very subtle, like something is repeating, not exactly, but closely. You look back at the person behind the desk. They are already looking down again, no longer focused on you, as if the interaction has ended completely. You step away. There is no clear direction, no schedule, no indication of what comes next. The hotel does not guide you. It does not suggest anything. It simply allows you to exist within it. You walk slowly through the lobby, toward another hallway. This one slightly different, but not in a way that stands out. Just another space, another path. The same quiet, the same stillness. You pass more doors, more identical shapes, each one closed, each one silent. You pause again, listening, but again, nothing. The hotel feels occupied, but not active, present, but not moving. You continue walking, without urgency, without purpose, just moving through the space. The light remains constant. It does not change. It does not grow brighter. It does not fade. Time feels different here, not slower, not faster. Just unclear. You are awake, but it does not feel like the start of a new day. It feels like a continuation, a quiet extension of the night. You return eventually, back to room 12. The door is the same. The key still fits. The room remains unchanged, exactly as before. You step inside. Close the door. The air feels the same. Nothing has shifted. You sit on the bed again, the same position, the same movement, and for a moment, It feels like this has already happened, not clearly, not as a memory, but as a feeling, a quiet repetition, something that has already occurred and is happening again. You lie back slowly, looking at the ceiling, the same blank surface, the same stillness, and once again, nothing happens. And yet, something continues, very quietly, very slowly, just beneath everything. The hallway that feels slightly longer. The room settles again. Just as before, nothing moves, nothing changes. And yet, something feels slightly different. Not inside the room, but beyond it. You remain lying still for a while. Your eyes open, focused on the ceiling. The same blank surface. The same quiet presence. But your attention shifts. Not because of a sound, not because of movement, just a subtle pull toward the hallway. It is not a thought, not a decision, just a quiet awareness that you should step outside again. You sit up slowly. The bed responds gently. No sudden movement, no resistance. Everything behaves exactly as expected. And yet the feeling remains. You stand, walk toward the door, each step measured, each movement calm. The handle turns, the door opens, and once again, the hallway is there. But this time, something is different. At first, nothing appears to have changed. The same soft yellow lights, the same evenly spaced doors, the same carpet beneath your feet, the same stillness. But when you take your first step forward, the space feels longer. Not visually, not in a way you can clearly see, but in a way you can feel. You walk, passing room 11, then room 10, then room 9. The numbers are the same. The doors are the same. Everything appears unchanged. But the distance between them feels extended, as if each step takes slightly more time than before. You pause, look back. Room 12 is still there, not far behind you, exactly where it should be. Nothing unusual. You turn forward again. Continue walking. Your pace remains slow, steady, but the hallway does not seem to end as quickly as it should. You remember the distance from earlier, the short walk to the lobby, but now it feels longer. Not dramatically, not enough to cause concern, just enough to notice. You keep moving. The lights above remain constant. They do not flicker. They do not dim. But they do not seem to pass as quickly either. Each one remains above you just a moment longer than expected. You reach what should be the end of the hallway, but it is not there. Not yet. Instead, there is more. Another section, another stretch of identical doors. You stop again, this time longer. You listen. The silence remains complete. No footsteps. No distant movement. Nothing. You consider turning back, but there is no reason to. Nothing feels wrong. Nothing feels unsafe. Just slightly different. You continue forward. The pattern repeats. Doors, lights, carpet, stillness. Again and again. Your steps remain quiet, almost non-existent. The hotel absorbs everything. Even time feels absorbed. You reach another point where the hallway should open, but again, it continues. Just a little further, just a little more. You begin to notice something else. The door numbers. They are still in order, but they feel less important now, less connected to space, more like markers that exist without meaning. Room 8, Room 7, Room 6. You pass them, but they do not feel like destinations, just points along something that continues. You slow your pace, not intentionally, but naturally. The longer you walk, the less urgency you feel, as if the hallway does not require you to reach the end, as if walking itself is enough. You stop once more. This time, you turn fully around. Look back. The hallway behind you stretches in the same way. Long, quiet, unchanging. Room 12 is no longer visible, not because it is gone, but because it is too far to see. And yet, you do not remember walking that far. You stand still, not confused, not alarmed, just aware. The space has changed, not physically, but perceptually. You turn forward again and continue. The light remains soft. The air remains still. Nothing interrupts the pattern. Nothing breaks the rhythm. You begin to lose track of time, not because it is hidden, but because it no longer feels relevant. You walk, step by step, door by door, light by light, and eventually, without noticing exactly when, the hallway changes again. It opens, slowly, quietly, into the lobby. You step into the wider space. The desk is there, in the same position, and behind it, the same person, standing, still, calm. They look up at the exact moment you enter, just as before. No surprise. No change in expression. You're walking more today. They say. Their voice is the same. Even. Neutral. You pause. Not because the statement is strange, but because it feels accurate. You are walking more. More than before. More than expected. You nod slightly. There is nothing else to say. They nod back and return their gaze downward. The interaction ends just as quickly as it began. You look around the lobby again. Nothing has changed. The same furniture. The same lighting. The same stillness. And yet, you feel it now. More clearly. The hotel is not fixed. Not in the way you first thought. It does not shift suddenly. It does not transform. But it adjusts. Quietly. Subtly. In ways that are difficult to notice until you do. You turn back toward the hallway. The same one you just walked through. It looks normal again. Shorter. Contained. Just as it was before. You take a step toward it. Pause. Then turn back. Instead, you return to your room. Room 12. The key fits. The door opens. The room is unchanged. Exactly as before. You step inside. Close the door. Sit on the bed. And for a moment, everything feels.
The room feels slightly rearranged. The door closes behind you, softly, as if it never fully moved at all. The room welcomes you back in the same quiet way it did before. Nothing rushes to meet you. Nothing announces your return. Everything simply remains. You stand for a moment near the door, not moving, not thinking of anything in particular, just allowing the stillness to settle again. The air feels familiar, warm, calm, unchanged. And yet, after the hallway, after the slow, extended walk, something feels slightly different. You take a step forward, then another. Your eyes move naturally across the room. The bed, the table, the chair, the curtains, all exactly where they should be, exactly as before. Nothing has been moved, nothing has been added, nothing has been removed. And still, there is a feeling, very small, very quiet, as if the room is not exactly the same. You walk toward the table. The key is still there. Room 12, resting where you left it. But as you look at it, you pause. It feels like it is sitting at a slightly different angle. Not clearly, not enough to be certain, just slightly. You reach out, touch it. It is solid, cool, unchanged. You leave it where it is. Step back. Your attention shifts to the chair.
near the window. It appears the same position, the same angle, but something about it feels adjusted, as if it has been moved and then placed back again. Not perfectly, just enough to be noticed, or maybe imagined. You walk toward it, slowly, carefully, each step quiet. You stop beside the chair, look down at it, then at the floor. There are no marks, no signs of movement, nothing that suggests anything has changed. And yet, you feel it again, that same quiet difference. You do not move the chair. You do not test it. You simply observe. Then, step away. Your gaze lifts toward the curtains, still closed, still heavy, still unmoving. You remember opening them earlier. The pale light outside, the still trees. Nothing unusual. You hesitate again, then walk toward the window. Your hand reaches out, pauses, then pulls the curtain slightly aside. The outside looks the same, pale, still, without clear sunlight, without shadow. The trees remain unmoving, exactly as before. Nothing has changed. And yet, you feel a slight hesitation this time, a moment where you consider whether you had already done this. Not this morning, but just now. You let the curtain fall back, step away. The room returns to its quiet state. You turn toward the bed, sit down slowly. The mattress responds in the same gentle way. You lean back, looking once more at the ceiling. Still blank, still empty, still unchanged. Your breathing slows, naturally, without effort. The room invites stillness again, just as it did before. But now, you are aware of something you were not before. The room does not need to change visibly. It does not need movement or sound. It only needs small differences, small enough to question, small enough to ignore. You close your eyes for a moment, not to sleep, just to rest. And when you open them again, everything looks the same, exactly the same. But the feeling remains that something has shifted, just slightly, just enough. You sit up again, look around more carefully this time, trying to find something specific, something clear, but nothing stands out. Everything remains in place. Everything appears correct. You stand, walk slowly across the room, from one side to the other, then back again. Each step measured, each movement quiet. You stop near the door, turn, look at the room as a whole, from a distance, trying to see it differently, trying to notice something you missed. But again, nothing changes, nothing reveals itself. Only the feeling remains that something is not exactly as it was. You return to the table, look at the key again. This time, it feels normal, exactly where it should be. You look at the chair. It also feels correct now, as if it had never been different. You exhale slowly, not in relief, just in recognition. The room is not showing you anything. It is not trying to be understood. It simply exists. And within that existence, small variations appear, then disappear, without explanation, without confirmation. You sit back down on the bed, this time closer to the center, a slightly different position than before. You notice that. A small change, your own movement, your own adjustment. You lie back again, the ceiling above you unchanged, the room around you still. And for a moment, everything feels stable, consistent, unmoving, until, very gently, almost imperceptibly, you feel it again. Not in the objects, not in the space, but in the awareness itself. A subtle shift, as if your perception is moving, even when the room is not. You do not react. You do not sit up. You simply remain still, allowing the feeling to exist without needing to understand it. The room holds you there, in that quiet space where nothing changes. And yet, nothing stays exactly the same. The sound that doesn't fully exist. The room rests in stillness, complete, unbroken. Nothing moves, nothing changes, and for a while, nothing is noticed. You remain lying on the bed, your breathing slow, even. Your eyes half open, not fully focused, just aware enough to observe. The ceiling remains the same, blank, quiet, unmoving. The air feels steady, neither warm nor cool, just present. Time passes, or at least something like time. It is difficult to tell here. There are no markers, no sounds to measure it, no movement to divide it. Only stillness. And then, very gently, something appears. Not clearly, not fully. A sound, or something close to a sound. It does not begin suddenly. It does not interrupt the silence. It emerges from within it, so softly that at first you are not sure it exists. You do not move. You do not sit up. You simply listen. The sound is faint, almost distant, but not far away, not outside, not inside, just present, somewhere between. You focus slightly more, not straining, just allowing your attention to rest on it. It fades, almost immediately, as if it was never there. the silence returns, complete again. You remain still, waiting, without deciding to wait. The sound does not return right away. Time passes again, unclear, unmeasured. Then, once more, it appears, softer this time. Or perhaps you are noticing it differently. It is not a clear noise, not a step, not a voice, not a movement of an object. It is something else, something without a clear source, like a shift, a presence, a moment of something almost forming, but never fully becoming. You turn your head slightly, just enough to change your perspective. The room remains the same. The table, the key, the chair, the curtains, everything still, everything silent. And yet, the sound lingers, not continuously, not steadily, but in small, almost unnoticeable intervals, appearing, then disappearing, each time just long enough to be recognized, but not long enough to be understood. You sit up slowly. The bed moves beneath you. A quiet response. The sound does not react. It does not stop. It does not change. It simply continues in its own way. You place your feet on the floor, the carpet soft, absorbing the movement. You stand, listen again. The room feels the same, but now your awareness has shifted. You are no longer simply resting within the space. You are observing it more closely, more carefully. You take your first step forward, toward the center of the room. Pause. The sound appears again. This time, it feels closer, not louder, not clearer, just closer, as if distance does not apply to it. You turn toward the door. Listen. Nothing from the hallway. No footsteps, no voices, no movement. Only that same faint, almost sound. You walk slowly toward the table. The key remains still, unchanged. You touch it lightly. Cold, solid, real. The sound does not come from here. You move toward the chair. It stands exactly as before. You place your hand on its back. Still, unmoving, nothing. You step away. The sound appears again. Behind you, or beside you, or nowhere at all. It is impossible to place. You pause, completely still. And in that stillness, you notice something. The sound does not exist when you try to find it. It only appears when you are not searching, when your attention softens, when your awareness drifts. You test this without thinking of it as a test. You look around the room again, carefully, focusing on objects, on space, on stillness. The sound disappears completely. You relax your focus, allow your gaze to soften, and then there it is again, faint, undefined, present. You do not react. You do not move toward it. You simply remain, allowing it to exist without needing to explain it. The room does not change. The objects do not shift. Everything remains exactly as it appears. And yet, the sound continues. Only when you are not trying to hear it. Only when you are not trying to understand. You return slowly to the bed. Sit down. Then lie back again. Your eyes open, looking at the ceiling. Your breathing slows once more. The room settles around you. The sound appears again. Soft, distant, close, undefined. It does not grow. It does not approach. It does not resolve into anything clear. It simply remains incomplete. And somehow, that feels natural. As if it was never meant to be understood. As if it exists only in that space, between noticing and forgetting. You close your eyes, not to sleep, but to rest within that space. The sound continues, or perhaps it fades. It becomes harder to tell. The boundary between silence and presence begins to blur. And slowly, without any clear ending, the room returns to stillness, complete, unbroken, as if nothing had ever been there at all.
The door that feels slightly open. The room settles again. The faint, almost sound from before fades into nothing. Or perhaps it is simply no longer noticed. You lie still, eyes open, breathing slow. The ceiling above remains unchanged, blank, quiet, unmoving. For a while, everything feels complete again, balanced, as if nothing more will happen. And yet, something begins. Not as a sound, not as a movement, but as a feeling, a very small awareness, difficult to place, difficult to describe. You do not sit up immediately. You do not turn your head. You simply remain where you are, allowing the feeling to exist. It is not uncomfortable, not alarming, just present. Like a thought that is not fully formed, or a memory that does not belong to you. Your attention shifts slowly toward the door. You do not know why. There is no reason, no signal, just a quiet pull. You sit up. The bed moves gently beneath you. The room remains still. Your eyes move to the door. It is closed, exactly as you left it. The handle still, the surface unchanged. Nothing appears different, and yet it feels slightly open. Not physically, not in a way you can see, but in a way you can sense, as if the space beyond it is closer than before. You remain seated for a moment, watching, waiting. Nothing moves. Nothing changes. The door stays closed, but the feeling remains. You stand, slowly, walk toward it, each step quiet, measured. The carpet absorbs everything. You stop a short distance away, close enough to reach the handle.
but you do not touch it yet. You listen. The hallway beyond remains silent. No footsteps, no voices, no movement. And yet, the space beyond the door feels present, closer than it should be. You raise your hand, pause, then place it on the handle. It is cool, still, real. You turn it slowly. The door opens, just as it did before, without resistance, without sound. The hallway is there, exactly as it has always been. Long, straight, softly lit, unchanged. You step forward slightly, stand at the threshold, half inside the room, half outside. The air feels the same on both sides. No difference, no shift. And yet, standing here feels different, as if the boundary between inside and outside is not as clear. You look down the hallway, doors on both sides, all closed, all identical. The lights above remain steady, evenly spaced. Nothing moves, nothing changes. You step fully into the hallway, turn back, look at your room. Room 12. The door now open, the interior visible, still, quiet, unchanged. You step back inside, without thinking, without deciding, then pause. Something feels different again. You turn around, look at the door from inside the room. It is open, just as you left it, but now it feels slightly closed. Not physically, not in appearance, but in the same way it felt open before. A contradiction, a quiet inconsistency. You walk toward it again, slowly. Stand at the threshold, half inside the room, half outside. The air feels the same on both sides. No difference, no shift. And yet, standing here feels different, as if the boundary between inside and outside is not as clear. You step into the hallway again, then back into the room. Once, twice. Each time, the feeling changes slightly. Not in a pattern, not in a predictable way, just shifting, as if the door is not fixed, not as an object, but as a boundary. You stop, stand still, in the doorway, not fully inside, not fully outside, and for a moment, it feels like both at once. The room and the hallway existing together, without separation, without distance, just one continuous space. You do not move. You do not react. You simply remain, allowing the feeling to pass. And slowly, it does. The boundary returns. The doorway becomes normal again. A simple transition. Inside, outside, nothing more. You step back into the room. Close the door. The sound is soft, almost non-existent. You look at it for a moment. Now it feels closed, completely, without question. You turn away, walk back toward the bed, sit down, the room returns to stillness. The same stillness as before. The same calm. And yet, you know now that even something as simple as a door is not always what it seems. Not here. Not in this place, where nothing changes and everything feels slightly different.
The mirror that doesn't fully reflect. The room becomes still again, completely still. The door remains closed, the hallway no longer present, the boundary restored. You sit quietly on the edge of the bed, your breathing slow, even. The same calm rhythm returns. Nothing asks for your attention. Nothing demands movement. And yet, your eyes begin to move. Not quickly, not searching, just drifting. Across the room, the table, the key, the chair, the curtains. Everything remains where it should be. Nothing has changed, nothing has shifted. And then, your gaze settles on something you had not noticed before. A mirror, small, placed on the wall beside the table. Not large, not central, just there, as if it has always been part of the room. And yet, you do not remember seeing it earlier. You do not react, not immediately. You simply look at it. The surface is clean, still, reflecting the room in a soft, muted way. Nothing unusual, nothing distorted, just a simple reflection. You stand, slowly, walk toward it, each step quiet, measured. You stop a short distance away, look at your reflection. It appears normal, still, calm, unmoving, just as you are. You shift slightly. The reflection follows, exactly, without delay, without difference. Everything behaves as expected. And yet, something feels incomplete. You look more carefully, not searching for anything specific, just observing. The room behind you appears in the mirror. The bed, the curtains, the door, all in place, all correct. But the space feels flatter, less present, as if the reflection is not fully connected to the room. You take a small step closer. Your reflection does the same. The movement matches perfectly, and yet the feeling remains. You raise your hand slightly. The reflection follows. No delay, no difference. Everything aligns. You lower your hand, pause, look again, and then, for a moment, something feels off. Not visually, not in a way you can point to, but in a way you can sense, as if the reflection is slightly less real, softer, more distant. You lean in just a little closer, your face now more visible, your eyes focused, looking directly into your own reflection. And in that moment, you feel it again. That same quiet inconsistency. The reflection is correct, but it does not feel fully present, as if it is not entirely there. You step back, slowly. The reflection follows, still correct, still aligned. Nothing changes, and yet the feeling deepens. You turn your head slightly. The reflection mirrors the movement, but for just a fraction of a moment, it feels delayed. Not enough to see, not enough to confirm, just enough to question. You stop moving, completely still,
and watch. The reflection remains still as well, matching you exactly. The room behind you in the mirror remains unchanged, but it feels quieter, more distant than the real room, as if it exists in a separate layer, a softer version of the same space. You step to the side. The reflection shifts, matching you again, but the movement feels lighter, less grounded. You look at the table in the reflection. The key is there, in the same position, but something about it feels slightly different. Not in shape, not in placement, just in presence, as if it does not carry the same weight. You turn around, look at the real table, the real key. It feels solid, clear, unchanged. You turn back to the mirror. The reflected key feels less certain. You do not try to explain it. You do not test it further. You simply observe, allowing the difference to exist without needing to define it. You step closer again. Your reflection fills more of the surface. Your face, your eyes, looking back at you. And for a moment, you feel as if the reflection is not just showing you, but observing you. Not actively, not intentionally, just present. In the same way the room feels present, in the same way the hallway felt present, a quiet awareness. You do not react. You do not step back suddenly. You simply remain, breathing slow, even. The feeling passes, or perhaps you adjust to it. The reflection returns to normal, or at least it appears to. You step away from the mirror, turn slightly, look at the room again without it. Everything feels stable, consistent. The bed, the table, the door, all unchanged. You glance back at the mirror. It reflects the room again, softly, quietly. Nothing stands out now. Nothing feels different. And yet, you know that even something as simple as a reflection is not always complete. Not here, not in this place, where everything appears exactly as it should be, but never feels entirely the same. You return to the bed, sit down. The room settles once more, still, quiet, unmoving. And somewhere behind you, the mirror remains, reflecting, or perhaps almost reflecting. The time that doesn't move forward. The room settles once again. The mirror remains behind you, quiet, unmoving. You sit on the bed, your hands resting loosely, your breathing slow, even. Nothing asks for your attention now. Nothing shifts. Nothing appears different. And yet, something begins to feel unusual again. Not in the objects, not in the space, but in something less visible, something harder to notice. Time. At first, it feels normal, or at least familiar. You sit, you breathe, you look around the room. The same stillness, the same calm. But after a while, something feels unchanged for too long. Not in a peaceful way, not in a relaxing way, just unchanged. You glance toward the table again. The key remains where it was, exactly. The same angle, the same position. You look at the chair, still, unmoved. The curtains, closed, without any shift.
You wait, without deciding to wait. And after what feels like several minutes, nothing has changed, not even slightly. You stand, walk slowly across the room, then back again. The movement feels real. Your steps feel normal, but the space does not respond in any noticeable way. It does not feel like time is passing through it. You stop, look again at the table. The key, still exactly the same. You try to remember if you had already looked at it in this way. You are not sure. It feels like you have, but it also feels like you have not. The moment repeats, or perhaps it simply continues, without moving forward. You sit down again, in nearly the same position as before. Your body settles. Your breathing continues. The same rhythm. Nothing changes. You look toward the door. Closed. Still. You remember opening it, standing in the hallway, returning. But that memory feels distant. Not far away in time, but separate. Like it belongs to a different layer. You close your eyes briefly, just for a moment, then open them again. The room is exactly the same. Not slightly different, not adjusted. Exactly the same. The position of the light, the angle of the key, the stillness of the curtains. Everything remains fixed. You begin to notice something else. A quiet repetition, not of actions, but of awareness. The same thoughts, the same observations, returning, without change. You stand again, walk to the window, pause. You remember doing this before, pulling the curtain, looking outside. But now, you were not sure when. You reach out, touch the curtain. It feels the same. You do not open it this time. You step back. The action feels unnecessary, as if you already know what is there, as if it would not be different. You turn toward the mirror. Look at it. Your reflection is there, still, matching you. But even this feels familiar, too familiar, as if you have already stood here, already looked, already noticed. You step away, return to the bed, sit again. The same position, the same movement, and slowly, something becomes clear. Time is not moving in the way you expect. It is not stopping, but it is not progressing either. It is holding, remaining, extending a single moment. You try to sense the passage of time, but there is no change to measure it. No sound, no movement, no shift in light, no external reference. Only repetition, only continuation. You lie back, looking at the ceiling, the same blank surface, the same stillness. You focus on your breathing. In, out, in, out. The rhythm is steady, but even that begins to feel repetitive, unchanging, as if each breath is not moving forward, but simply existing. You close your eyes again, for a longer moment, then open them. Nothing has changed, not even slightly. You do not feel frustration. You do not feel concern. Just awareness, a quiet recognition that this place does not follow time in the same way. Or perhaps it does not need to.
You sit up once more. Look around the room. Everything remains fixed, perfectly, unmoving. You reach toward the table. Touch the key again. It feels the same. Cold, solid, real. But even that action feels repeated, as if you have done it before, in the same way, in the same moment. You release it. Step back. The room remains still, unchanged. And then, very gently, something shifts. Not in the room, not in the objects, but in your awareness. A small movement, a subtle change, like a moment finally beginning to pass. You do not see it, you do not hear it, but you feel it. The stillness softens, just slightly. The repetition loosens, just enough. You take a breath, and this time, it feels like a new one. Not a continuation, not a repetition, but something moving forward. The room remains the same, but the feeling changes. Time begins again, quietly, slowly, almost unnoticed, as if it had never stopped, as if it had only been waiting.
The guest you never see clearly. Time begins to move again. Slowly, gently, almost as if nothing had ever paused. The room feels the same. Still, quiet, unchanged. But something within your awareness has shifted. The sense of repetition has softened. The stillness remains, but it no longer feels held in place. You sit on the bed, your posture relaxed, your breathing steady. The mirror is behind you. The door is closed. The key rests on the table. Everything exactly where it should be. And yet, your attention drifts again. Not toward an object, not toward a sound, but toward something less defined. A presence. Not strong. Not clear. Just subtle. You do not move immediately. You do not turn. You simply notice. The feeling is faint, almost like a memory of someone passing by, or the quiet awareness that you are not entirely alone. But there is no sound, no movement, no evidence, only the feeling. You stand slowly, your movement controlled, calm. You look toward the door, still closed, unchanged. You listen. Nothing from the hallway. No footsteps. No voices. No shifting of air. The silence remains complete. And yet, the feeling does not leave. You walk toward the door. Not out of concern, just curiosity. A quiet, gentle curiosity. You place your hand on the handle. Pause. Listen once more. Still nothing. You open the door. The hallway appears, as it always does. Long, softly lit, empty. You step outside. The carpet absorbs your steps. The air feels the same. No difference. No change. You look down the hallway. Nothing moves. Nothing shifts. But then, for a moment, you notice something. Far down the corridor, a shape. Not clear, not defined, just something. You do not react. You do not step forward quickly. You simply observe. The shape does not move, or perhaps it moves so slowly that it cannot be seen. You take a step forward, then another. The shape remains at the same distance, never closer, never clearer. You continue walking, slowly, quietly. The lights above remain steady. The doors remain closed. The hallway unchanged. But the shape stays, always there, just far enough away, just unclear enough. You stop. Look more carefully. Try to focus. But the more you try to see it clearly, the less certain it becomes. You relax your gaze. Allow your focus to soften. And there it is again. A figure. Or something like a figure. Standing. Or perhaps simply existing. You cannot tell. You take another step forward. The distance does not change. It does not come closer. It does not move away. It simply remains. At the edge of perception, you pause again. Listen. No sound. No footsteps. No breath. Nothing that suggests presence. And yet, it is there. You turn your head slightly. Look at one of the doors beside you. Then back down the hallway. For a brief moment, the shape is gone. Completely gone. You blink. Look again. And it returns. In the same place. At the same distance. Unchanged. You do not feel fear. You do not feel urgency, only a quiet curiosity, a calm awareness. You take a step back, then another. The shape remains still, unclear. You turn around slowly, begin walking back toward your room. Each step quiet, measured. You do not rush. You do not look back immediately. You continue walking until you reach your door. Room 12. You stop. Place your hand on the handle. Then you look back. The hallway stretches behind you, long, empty. No shape, no figure, nothing. You open the door. Step inside. Close it gently. The room returns, still, quiet, unchanged. You stand for a moment, listening. Nothing. The feeling of presence fades, or perhaps it becomes part of the room again. You walk toward the bed. Sit down slowly. Your breathing remains steady. Your body relaxed. You look toward the mirror. Your reflection is there, still matching you. No difference. No delay. Everything normal. You lie back on the bed. Your eyes move toward the ceiling. The same blank surface, the same stillness. And yet, something stays with you. Not a memory, not a clear image, just a sense that somewhere in the hotel there is another presence, not moving, not approaching, not interacting, just existing in the same quiet way as everything else. Unclear, uncertain, and never fully seen.
The room next door that is never occupied. The room settles again. The hallway is no longer visible. The door remains closed. The presence from before fades into something softer, less defined. You sit quietly on the bed. Your breathing slow, even. The same calm rhythm returns. Nothing moves, nothing changes. And yet, your attention shifts again. Not far, not to the center of the room, but slightly to the side, toward the wall that separates your room from the next one. You do not remember noticing it before. Not in this way. It was always there, of course. But now, it feels different. Not visually, not in structure, but in awareness. You remain still, listening. There is no sound,
No movement. Nothing from the other side. And yet, the space beyond the wall feels present. Not empty. Not occupied. Just there. You tilt your head slightly, as if that might change something. But it does not. The silence remains complete. You stand slowly. Walk toward the wall. Each step quiet. Measured. You stop close to it. Close enough to feel its presence, but not touching it yet. You listen again. Nothing. No voices. No shifting. No signs of life. And yet, you feel something. A quiet absence. Not the absence of sound, but the absence of something that should be there. As if the room on the other side is never used. You place your hand gently against the wall. It feels solid, still, unmoving, exactly as it should. But the feeling remains. You imagine the room beyond, not clearly, just loosely. A space similar to yours. A bed, a table, a chair, a window. Everything in place, and yet untouched, unchanged, unused. You step back, slowly. The wall remains just a wall. Nothing more. And yet, it feels like something is missing from the other side. Not removed, not taken, just never there. You turn slightly. Look toward your own bed, your table, your chair. Everything present, everything real. And then your attention returns to the wall again. You walk along it, from one side of the room to the other. Each step quiet, your hand trailing lightly along the surface. Nothing changes. No sound. No movement. But the feeling remains consistent. The room next door is not active. Not silent in the way yours is, but absent in a different way. You stop near the far corner, where the wall meets another. You stand there for a moment, still, listening. And for just a brief second, you think you hear something. Not a sound, not clearly, just a suggestion, a possibility. You pause, focus slightly, but it disappears. The silence returns, complete again. You step away from the wall, return toward the center of the room. The feeling follows you, not physically, but in awareness. You sit down on the bed, look again toward the wall. It remains unchanged, and yet now it feels more defined, more noticeable, as if your attention has given it weight. You consider the room beyond again. Try to imagine it more clearly, but something prevents that. Not intentionally, just naturally, as if the space cannot be fully pictured, as if it resists being known. You lie back slowly, your eyes moving toward the ceiling, but your awareness remains near the wall. The presence of that other room lingers, not as something active, not as something waiting,
but is something that is simply not there, in a way that feels deliberate. You close your eyes briefly, then open them again. The room is the same, everything in place. Nothing changed. You turn your head slightly, look once more at the wall, and now it feels more distant, less present, as if your awareness has moved away from it, as if the connection has faded. The room returns to balance, everything equal again, nothing standing out, nothing pulling your attention. And yet, you know that beyond that wall, there is a space that is never occupied, never used, never changed, and never fully understood. You breathe slowly, evenly. The calm returns. The stillness settles, and the awareness of the other room fades into the background, where it remains, quiet, unnoticed, until it returns again.
The light that never turns off. The room rests in quiet balance. The wall no longer draws your attention. The sense of the empty room beyond it fades gently into the background. Everything returns to stillness, complete, uninterrupted. You remain seated on the bed, your breathing slow, even, your gaze soft, not fixed on anything in particular. The room feels stable again. Nothing stands out. Nothing asks to be noticed. And yet, slowly, your attention begins to drift upward, toward the light. It is not bright, not harsh, just a soft, steady glow. You have seen it before. Of course you have. It has been there since you arrived. But now you notice it differently, not as part of the room, but as something separate. You look more carefully. The light does not flicker. It does not change intensity. It does not shift with time. It simply remains, constant, unmoving. You sit a little straighter, still calm, still relaxed, but more aware. You try to remember if the light has ever been different, dimmer, brighter, off, but nothing comes to mind. It feels as though it has always been exactly like this. You stand slowly, walk toward the center of the room, look up. The source of the light is simple, a fixture, nothing unusual, nothing complex. And yet, it feels different now, not because of how it looks, but because of what it does not do. It does not change. You wait, just for a moment, watching it, expecting something, but nothing happens. The light remains the same. You look around the room again. The table, the key, the chair, the curtains. Everything is lit evenly, softly. No shadows shift, no brightness fades. The room exists in a constant state. You move slightly to one side, then the other. The light does not respond. It does not create movement. It does not react. It simply remains. You walk closer to the wall, then back again, still the same. You glance toward the door, closed, unchanged. Then back to the light, still there, still constant. You begin to notice something subtle. The light does not feel connected to time.
It does not grow stronger in the morning. It does not soften at night. It does not follow any pattern. It simply exists, outside of change. You sit back down on the bed, your gaze still directed upward. You try to remember the night, the moment you first arrived. Was the light the same then? It feels like it was, exactly the same. You close your eyes briefly, then open them again. No difference. The light has not changed, even for a moment. You look away, toward the table, then back up again. Still the same. You stand once more, walk beneath it, look up from directly below. The glow surrounds you, soft, even, without direction. You raise your hand slightly. The light touches it, but does not cast a strong shadow. Everything remains balanced, flat, unchanging. You lower your hand, step back. The feeling grows slightly stronger. Not discomfort, not concern, just awareness that this light does not behave like light should. It does not respond. It does not shift. It does not end. You look toward the window. The curtains remain closed. You remember the pale light outside, but that light felt different, distant, faint. This one feels fixed. You walk to the wall, reach for where a switch might be. Your fingers touch the surface, but there is nothing there. No switch, no control. You pause, then move your hand along the wall, slowly, searching. But there is nothing, no way to turn it off. You step back, look at the light again, still glowing, unchanged. You do not try again. You do not question it further. You simply observe, allowing it to exist as it is. You return to the bed, sit down, then lie back slowly, your eyes resting on the light, your breathing calm, steady. The room remains exactly as it was. The light remains exactly as it is. And slowly, you begin to understand something. This place does not move through time in the usual way, and the light is part of that. It does not mark the passage of time. It does not signal change. It simply remains, constant, unbroken. You close your eyes again, and even with them closed, you feel it. That same steady presence, that same unchanging glow, not seen, but still there. And when you open your eyes again, nothing has changed, not even slightly. The light remains steady above you, unchanging, soft, constant. You lie still for a while, your eyes open, resting on that quiet glow. Nothing shifts, nothing flickers. The room continues exactly as it is. And slowly, your attention drifts downward, away from the light, back into the space around you. You sit up, gently. The bed responds as it always does. A soft movement, nothing more. You place your feet on the floor. The carpet meets them, warm, soft, familiar. For a moment, everything feels normal, balanced, just as it should. But then, something small begins to form. Not a sound, not a visible change, just a feeling.
Very subtle, almost nothing. You shift your weight slightly, from one foot to the other, and there it is again. The same small difference. The floor feels uneven, not in a clear way, not in a way you can see, just slightly. You stand still, trying to notice it more clearly, but when you focus on it directly, it disappears. The floor feels flat again, normal, stable. You take a step forward, then another. The carpet absorbs your movement, but with each step, the feeling returns. Very faint, very quiet, as if one side is just a little lower than the other. Not enough to disturb you, not enough to make you stumble, just enough to be noticed. You stop, look down. The carpet appears smooth, even. No folds, no dips, nothing out of place. You shift your weight again, and once more, that slight unevenness returns. You take another step, then another, moving slowly across the room. Each step measured, each movement calm. The feeling changes, sometimes stronger, sometimes not there at all, as if the floor is not fixed, not completely stable. You walk toward the table. The key remains where it was, unchanged. You stand beside it. Feel the ground beneath you. For a moment, it feels flat. Then, slightly tilted. You step back. The feeling disappears. You step forward again. It returns. You do not react. You do not question it. You simply notice. You move toward the chair. Each step quiet, soft. The same pattern continues. The floor feels different depending on where you stand. Not dramatically, not enough to cause concern, just subtly. You place your hand on the chair. Stand still. Feel the ground beneath you. It seems level. Then, just slightly off. You lift one foot, place it down again. The feeling shifts, as if the surface beneath you is adjusting. Very slowly, very quietly, you walk toward the door. Step by step, the same sensation follows, sometimes present, sometimes gone, never fully consistent. You stop near the door. Stand still. Feel the ground. Flat. Completely flat. You take one small step forward, and suddenly, it feels slightly lower. You take another step. Now it feels level again. You look down. Nothing has changed. Nothing has moved. The carpet remains smooth, perfectly even. You turn around, walk back toward the bed. The feeling continues, shifting, changing, without pattern, without reason. You sit down slowly. The bed holds you, steady, unmoving. You place your feet back on the floor, and now it feels normal again, completely flat, as if nothing had ever been different. You lift your feet, then place them down again.
Still flat. You stand once more. Take a step. The unevenness returns. Very faint. Very quiet. You pause. Then continue walking. The pattern repeats. Not predictable. Not fixed. Just present. You begin to understand something. The floor is not changing. Not physically. Not in a way that can be seen. It is your perception that shifts. Your awareness that adjusts. You walk more slowly now, paying less attention, letting your steps happen naturally, and gradually, the feeling softens, becomes less noticeable, less important, until finally, it fades. The floor feels flat again, completely stable. You stop in the center of the room. Stand still. Everything feels normal, balanced, unchanged. You look around. The bed, the table, the chair, the curtains, the door, all in place, all exactly as they should be. You take one last step. Carefully. The floor remains steady. No difference. No shift. Just stillness. You return to the bed. Sit down. Then lie back slowly. Your eyes move toward the ceiling again. The light still there, unchanging. And beneath you, the floor holds steady, as if it had never been different at all. The key feels warmer than before. The room returns to stillness again. The floor beneath you feels stable, flat, unchanging, as if the slight unevenness had never existed. You lie on the bed, your eyes open, resting on the soft light above. Everything feels balanced, calm. Nothing moves. Nothing shifts. And slowly, your attention drifts again. Not toward the ceiling this time, not toward the walls, but toward something smaller, something simple. The table, and the key resting on it. Room 12. You have seen it many times now. Noticed it. Touched it. Left it where it was. It has always remained the same. Still. Cool. Unchanged. But now, it feels slightly different. Not visually. Not in shape. Just in presence. You sit up slowly. The bed responds gently. You look toward the table. The key is exactly where it should be. The same angle, the same position. Nothing has moved. And yet, something feels different. You stand. Walk toward it. Each step quiet, measured. The carpet soft beneath your feet. You stop beside the table. Look down at the key. It reflects the soft light above. Faintly. Nothing unusual. You reach out. Pause for a moment. Then touch it. And immediately, you notice it. The warmth. It is not hot. Not even noticeably warm at first. Just not cold. Different from before. You hold it lightly between your fingers. Lift it slightly from the table. The metal feels warmer than you remember. You turn it gently. feel its weight, its texture. Everything else is the same. Only the temperature has changed. You do not react. You do not question it. You simply notice. You hold it a moment longer, then place it back on the table. It rests there again, still, unmoving. You step back. Watch it. Nothing changes. The key remains as it is. You wait, just briefly. Then reach for it again. Touch it. It still feels warm. Not increasing, not decreasing. Just steady. You lift it again. Hold it slightly longer this time, trying to understand the feeling. But there is nothing to understand. Only the difference. You bring it closer to your hand. Turn it once more. The warmth remains. You place it back down, slowly, carefully. It rests in the same position, exactly as before. You step away, walk back toward the center of the room. The feeling stays with you, not in your hand, but in your awareness. The key is no longer just an object. It is changed in a small way. You sit down on the bed. Look toward the table again. The key appears the same, unchanged. But now, you know that something about it is different. You lie back slowly, your eyes moving between the ceiling and the table. The light remains steady. The room remains still. Everything appears consistent, but the warmth of the key lingers in your memory. You close your eyes briefly, then open them again. Nothing has changed. You sit up once more. Walk back to the table. This time, without hesitation. You reach out. Touch the key again. It is still warm. Exactly the same as before. You hold it for a moment. Then place it in your palm. Close your fingers around it. The warmth spreads slightly. Not through heat, but through awareness. As if the object is more present now, more defined. You open your hand. Look at it. The small metal tag. The number 12. Unchanged. You place it back down. Gently. Step away. The room returns to stillness. Nothing moves. Nothing shifts. And yet, something remains. A small difference. A quiet change. You sit down again. The bed steady beneath you. You look once more at the key. And now, it feels familiar in a different way. Not just something you were given, but something that has begun to respond. Not actively, not intentionally, just subtly. You lie back once more, your eyes drifting upward, the light unchanged, the room still, and somewhere within that stillness, the warmth of the key remains. Quiet, unexplained, but no longer unnoticed. The window that shows the same moment. The room rests in quiet balance once more. The key remains on the table, still, warm in memory. The light above unchanged, soft, constant. You lie on the bed, your breathing slow, even, Everything feels steady again. Nothing draws your attention. Nothing asks to be noticed. And yet, slowly, your awareness shifts toward the window. The curtains remain closed, heavy, still. You remember the pale light outside, the unmoving trees, the quiet scene beyond the glass. You have looked before, but now something feels different. Not in the window itself, but in the moment. You sit up slowly, your movement calm, unhurried. Your eyes remain on the curtains. They do not move. No air disturbs them. No light changes their shape. You stand, walk toward the window, each step soft, measured. You stop just in front of it. The fabric hangs still, waiting. You reach out, pause for a moment, then gently pull the curtain aside. The outside appears, just as before, pale, soft, unchanging. The trees stand motionless. The sky holds no clear color, no clouds, no movement, no shift. You look carefully, not searching, just observing. Everything is exactly as you remember, exactly the same. You remain there, watching. Time passes, or something like time, but nothing changes. Not in the sky, not in the trees, not in the light. The moment remains fixed. You blink, look again, still the same. You shift slightly, change your angle, but the scene does not respond. It does not adjust. It does not evolve. It simply remains. You try to remember if the outside ever looked different. Morning, evening, night, but no clear memory comes. It feels as though this is the only moment, the only version of outside that exists here. You step a little closer, look through the glass more directly. The surface is clean, clear. Nothing distorts your view. And yet, the scene feels distant, not far away in space, but removed, like something that is not fully connected. You place your hand lightly against the window. The glass is cool, still, unmoving. You look at the trees again. Their shapes are clear, defined, but they do not move, not even slightly. No wind, no shift, nothing. You wait, expecting perhaps a small change, a subtle movement, but nothing happens. The moment holds, perfectly still. You begin to notice something else. The light outside matches the light inside, not in brightness, but in consistency. Neither changes, neither shifts. They exist together, without difference. You step back slightly, still looking outside. The scene remains the same, unchanged, unmoving. You let the curtain fall halfway, then pull it aside again. The view does not change, not even slightly. You close the curtain completely, pause, then open it again. Still the same, the exact same moment. You do not feel confusion. You do not feel concern. Just awareness that the outside is not moving forward. It is not changing. It is not part of time. At least, not in the way you understand it. You step away from the window, slowly, turn back toward the room. Everything inside remains the same. The bed, the table, the key, the chair, the light, all unchanged. You glance back at the window one more time, the curtain still slightly open, the same pale scene beyond it, frozen, unmoving. You walk back to the bed, Sit down, then lie back slowly, your eyes moving between the ceiling and the window. The two lights, inside and outside, both constant, both unchanged. You close your eyes briefly, then open them again. Nothing has shifted, not even a small detail. You breathe slowly, evenly. The calm returns, the stillness settles. And somewhere within that stillness, you understand something quietly. This place does not move through time. It holds moments, keeps them, repeats them. And the window simply shows one of those moments, again and again, without end.
The footsteps that never reach your door. The curtain settles back into place. The window disappears behind it. The outside moment held where it was, unchanging. You lie still on the bed, your breathing slow, even. The room returns to its quiet balance. The light remains steady above. The key rests on the table. Everything as it has been. Nothing new, nothing different. And yet, slowly, your awareness shifts again. Not toward the window, not toward the table, but toward the door. It remains closed, still, unmoving. You do not sit up immediately. You simply notice it, the presence of it, the boundary it holds, the space beyond it. And then, very gently, something appears. A sound, soft, distant, almost too faint to notice. You do not move, you listen. The sound comes again, light, measured, rhythmic. Footsteps, very quiet, very far away. You remain still, your breathing steady. The sound continues. Step, pause, step. Slow, even, not hurried, not uncertain, just consistent. You sit up slowly. The bed shifts beneath you. The sound does not react. It continues as it was. You turn your head toward the door, listening more carefully now. The footsteps remain distant, but they are clear, more clear than before. You stand, walk slowly toward the door, each step quiet, measured. You stop just short of it. Place your hand near the surface, not touching, just close. The footsteps continue, still distant, still slow. You wait, listening, expecting them to come closer, but they do not. They remain at the same distance, unchanged. You press your ear gently toward the door. The sound becomes slightly more present, but not louder, not closer, just clearer. You can feel the rhythm now. Step, pause, step. A steady pattern, unbroken. You step back. The sound continues, unchanged. You wait. Time passes, but the footsteps do not approach. They do not fade. They remain exactly as they are, always at the same distance. You turn the handle slowly. The door opens, without sound. The hallway appears, empty, still, unmoving. You step into the doorway, look both directions. Nothing, no one, no movement. And yet, the footsteps continue. You hear them, clearly now, but still not from anywhere specific.
You step into the hallway, look down its length. It stretches, quietly, unchanged. No figure, no shape, nothing visible. You take a step forward, then another. The sound remains, unchanged. Not closer, not farther. You stop, listen. The footsteps continue. Step, pause, step. Always the same, always distant. You turn slowly, look behind you. Nothing. The hallway remains empty. You walk a few steps farther. The sound continues, but it does not shift. It does not respond to your movement. You stop again. And now you understand. The footsteps are not moving through the hallway. They are not approaching. They are not passing by. They are simply repeating a pattern, a rhythm, without direction, without change. You stand still, allowing the sound to exist, without trying to follow it, without trying to locate it. And slowly, the awareness shifts again. The footsteps feel less like something external and more like something within the space itself, part of the hotel, part of the stillness. You turn back toward your room, room 12, the door still open, waiting. You walk toward it, each step quiet, measured. The footsteps continue, unchanged. You reach the doorway, pause, look once more down the hallway. Still empty, still silent, except for the sound. You step inside, close the door gently. The sound remains, for a moment, faint, distant. Then, very slowly, it fades. Not abruptly, not completely, just less noticeable, until it blends back into the quiet. You stand in the room again, still, calm, everything as it was. The key on the table, the light above, the curtains closed. You walk back to the bed, sit down slowly, your breathing steady. The sound is gone now, or perhaps no longer heard. The room settles once more, complete, unbroken. And somewhere, just beyond awareness, the footsteps continue, never arriving, never leaving, just existing, in the same quiet rhythm, again and again.
The shadow that doesn't belong to anything. The room settles once more. The footsteps fade into silence, or perhaps they simply move beyond awareness. You sit quietly on the bed, your breathing slow, even. The light above remains unchanged, soft, constant. Everything feels balanced again, still, unmoving. Nothing asks for attention. Nothing calls to be noticed. And yet, slowly, your eyes begin to drift. Not with purpose, not searching, just observing. The table, the key, the chair, the curtains. Everything remains exactly as it should be. And then, you notice something small, near the floor, close to the wall. A shadow, faint, soft, barely visible. You do not react immediately. You simply look at it. The light in the room is steady, unchanging, and yet the shadow exists. You shift slightly. The shadow does not move. You look toward the light above, then back to the shadow. It remains, unchanged. You stand slowly,
Walk toward it, each step quiet, measured. You stop a short distance away, look down. The shadow is there, subtle, undefined, not sharp, not clear, just present. You glance around the room, trying to see what might be casting it. The table stands nearby, the chair, the bed behind you, but none of them align with the shape. None of them explain it. You move slightly to the side. The shadow remains in the same place, unmoved. You step closer, lean slightly forward. The shadow does not react. It does not shift with your position. It does not follow the logic of light. You straighten, pause, observe. The room remains unchanged, the light steady, nothing moving, and yet the shadow remains. You take another step, now standing directly over it, looking down. It feels separate, not connected to anything, not anchored, just there. You raise your foot slightly, then place it down again. The shadow does not respond. You step back. It remains unchanged. You look toward the wall, then back to the shadow. It has not moved, not even slightly. You begin to notice something else. The edges. They are soft, fading, as if the shadow is not fully formed, not fully present. You move your hand slowly through the space above it. Nothing changes. No interaction. No response. It does not belong to your movement. You step away, walk a small circle around it, observing from different angles. The shadow remains the same, flat, still, unconnected. You stop, stand still, and for a moment, you feel something familiar. The same quiet inconsistency, the same subtle difference. The shadow is not behaving as it should, but it does not feel wrong. It simply exists differently. You look toward the light again, still steady, still unchanged. No flicker, no shift, nothing that would create such a shape. You return your gaze to the floor. The shadow is still there, exactly the same. You turn slightly, look at the rest of the room. Everything remains in place. The bed, the table, the key, the chair, all unchanged. You look back. The shadow remains. You walk slowly back toward the bed. Sit down. From this distance, the shadow is still visible, faint, subtle, unmoving. You lie back slowly, your eyes drifting upward toward the ceiling. The light still constant, the room still calm, but your awareness remains connected to that small shape on the floor. Not directly, not focused, just present. You close your eyes briefly, then open them again. The room is unchanged, the shadow still there. You do not move. You do not investigate further. You simply allow it to exist as part of the space, as part of the quiet, as part of the hotel. And slowly, the awareness softens. The shadow becomes less important, less noticeable. Not gone, but integrated. Another small difference, another quiet detail. In a place where nothing changes and everything feels slightly out of place.
The bed that feels slightly different each time. The shadow rests quietly where it was, unmoving, faint, no longer drawing your full attention. The room settles again.
The light remains steady, the air unchanged. Everything returns to that familiar balance. You lie on the bed, your breathing slow, even, your body relaxed. The same position you have taken before, the same stillness. And yet, something feels slightly different. Not in the room, not in the light, but in the bed itself. At first, it is nothing, just a quiet awareness, a small difference. You shift slightly, adjust your position. The mattress responds, soft, supportive, but not exactly as before. You pause, trying to understand, but there is nothing clear, nothing specific, just a feeling. You move your arms slightly, then your shoulders. The surface beneath you feels different. Not softer, not firmer, just changed in a subtle way. You sit up slowly. Look at the bed. It appears the same. Flat, smooth, unchanged. You place your hand on it. Press lightly. It feels normal. Exactly as expected. You lie back again. This time, the feeling returns. Slightly different from the moment before. You adjust your position again. Turn slightly to one side. The mattress shifts beneath you, but now it feels slightly firmer. Not enough to be uncomfortable, just noticeable. You turn onto your back again. Now it feels softer. You pause, still, breathing steady. The bed continues to feel not fixed, not consistent. You sit up again. Place both hands on the surface. Press down. It feels the same as before. Stable, even, unchanged. You lie back once more. And again, it feels different. You do not react. You do not question it. You simply notice. Each time you lie down, the feeling shifts. Slightly, quietly. You adjust your head on the pillow. It feels lower. Then, a moment later, higher. Without movement, without change. You close your eyes briefly, then open them again. The sensation remains. You turn to your side again. This time, it feels more supportive, more solid. You turn back. Now softer again. You begin to understand. The bed is not changing physically, not in a visible way, but your experience of it is not fixed. It shifts. Each time, each moment. You sit up again. Look at it. Everything appears normal. Nothing out of place. You lie back once more. This time, without expectation, without trying to notice. And slowly, the differences become less important, less defined.
They blend together. The bed becomes simply a place to rest again. Not something to examine. Not something to question. You relax your body. Allow it to settle. The mattress supports you. However it feels. Whatever it becomes. Your breathing slows further. Your eyes drift toward the ceiling. The light's still there. Unchanging. The room's still quiet. The shadows still faint on the floor. The key still on the table. Everything in place. Everything still. And beneath you, the bed continues to shift. Very slightly. Very gently. With each breath. With each moment. Not enough to disturb. Just enough to remind you that nothing here remains exactly the same. Even when it appears to. You close your eyes. This time longer. Allowing the softness, the quiet, the subtle movement. And slowly, the differences fade into stillness. The bed becomes stable again. Or perhaps you simply stop noticing the changes. The room holds you there, in that calm space, where everything is almost the same, but never completely.
The name you don't remember giving. The bed settles beneath you. The subtle shifts fade into something softer, less noticeable. The room returns to its quiet balance once again. The light remains unchanged. The shadow rests where it was. The key sits on the table. Everything exactly as before. You lie still. Your breathing slow. Even. Your eyes half open. Resting somewhere between the ceiling and nothing in particular. For a while, nothing happens. And then, very gently, a thought appears. Not fully formed, not clear, just present. A memory, or something like a memory. You sit up slowly, the movement calm, unhurried. The room does not change. Nothing reacts. But the thought remains. You tried to understand it, but it is not specific, not detailed, just a feeling, as if something has already happened, something you should remember, but cannot. You stand, walk slowly toward the table. The key remains there. Room 12. Unchanged. You look at it for a moment. And then something shifts. Not in the key, but in your awareness of it. It feels connected to something else. Something beyond the room. You reach out. Touch it. Still warm. Familiar now. You pick it up. Hold it in your hand. And suddenly, the thought becomes slightly clearer. A moment. At the desk. The person standing there. Looking at you. Speaking. You try to recall what was said. But the words are not clear. Only the feeling remains. A quiet exchange. Something simple. Something you accepted. You close your hand around the key. Focus. Try to remember. And then,
another small detail appears. A name, not spoken loudly, not repeated, just given. Once. You pause, your breathing steady, your mind quiet. You try to hear it again, but it does not return. You know it was there. You know it was said, but you do not remember it. You open your hand, look at the key. Room 12. Nothing else written. Nothing that would reveal anything. You place it back on the table. Slowly, carefully. You step back. The room remains unchanged. The thought remains. Faint. Incomplete. You turn toward the mirror. Walk slowly. Stand before it. Your reflection looks back. Still. Calm. Unmoving. You study your face. Not closely. Just enough to notice. And for a moment, you feel something unfamiliar. Not in your appearance, but in recognition. As if the reflection is correct, but not fully known. You tilt your head slightly. The reflection follows. Perfectly. And yet, the feeling remains. You do not react. You do not question it. You simply observe. Then slowly, your attention returns to the thought. The name. You try again to remember, but it does not come. It stays just beyond reach, like a word you almost recall but cannot fully bring back. You step away from the mirror. Walk back toward the bed. Sit down. The room remains still. Everything unchanged. And yet, something feels slightly different. Not in the space, not in the objects, but in you. A small gap. A missing piece. You lie back slowly, your eyes drifting toward the ceiling. The light still constant, the same as always. You close your eyes briefly, and in that quiet moment, you feel it again. The sense that something was given. Something simple. A name. Something that belongs to you. Or perhaps was assigned to you. But now, it is gone. Not removed. Not taken. Just not remembered. You open your eyes again. The room is the same. Nothing has changed. The key remains on the table. The shadow faint on the floor. The mirror still. The door closed. Everything exactly as before. And yet, you know that somewhere, in a moment you cannot fully recall, you were called by a name, and you answered.
The feeling that you never left. The room remains still, unchanged, as it has always been. You lie on the bed, your breathing slow, even. The light above continues its quiet glow. The key rests on the table. The shadow remains faint. The door stays closed. Everything exactly where it should be. And yet, something settles differently now. Not in the room, not in the objects, but in your awareness. A quiet understanding begins to form, not as a thought,
not as a conclusion, just a feeling. You remain still, allowing it to exist, without trying to define it, without trying to understand. And slowly, it becomes clearer. You think about the hallway, the long, quiet stretch, the doors, the lights, the distance that never felt fixed. You think about the mirror, the reflection that was never fully present, the sound that never fully existed, the footsteps that never arrived, the room next door that was never occupied, the light that never turned off, the window that never changed, the bed that never felt the same twice, the name you do not remember giving. All of it, each moment, each small difference, each quiet inconsistency. They do not feel separate anymore. They feel connected, part of something larger, something continuous. You sit up slowly, the movement calm, unhurried. You look around the room. Everything is the same. Nothing is changed. And yet, everything feels familiar in a different way. Not as something new, but as something you have always known. You stand, walk slowly toward the door, each step quiet, measured. You stop in front of it. Place your hand on the handle. Pause. Listen. There is no sound, no footsteps, no presence, only stillness. You turn the handle, open the door. The hallway appears, long, quiet, unchanged. You step forward, stand at the threshold, half inside, half outside. You look down the hallway. Nothing moves, nothing shifts. It feels the same, exactly as before. And yet, something is different. Not in the space, but in your understanding of it. You take a step into the hallway, then another. The carpet soft beneath your feet, the lights steady above. You walk a few steps, then stop. Look around. Everything is familiar, not because you have seen it before, but because it feels known. You turn slowly, look back toward your room, room 12. The door open, the interior visible, still, quiet, unchanged. You stand there, watching it, and for a moment, something becomes clear, not as a thought, not as words, but as a quiet realization. You do not remember arriving here, not clearly. You do not remember leaving anywhere else. There is no clear beginning, no clear transition. Only this place, only these moments. You take a step back, toward the room, then another. You cross the threshold again, stand inside. The room welcomes you back in the same silent way. You close the door gently, the sound soft, almost non-existent. You look around, everything in place, everything unchanged. You walk to the bed, sit down, then lie back slowly. Your eyes drift toward the ceiling, the lights still there, unmoving. You breathe in, slowly,
then out. The same rhythm, the same calm. And now, that feeling settles fully. Clear, quiet, certain. You were never passing through this place. You were never just staying here. You were never arriving or leaving. You have always been here. Not in a way that feels trapped. Not in a way that feels forced. Just present. As part of the stillness. As part of the quiet. As part of the hotel itself. The room does not change. The hallway does not move. Time does not pass in the usual way. Because nothing here is moving forward. It simply exists. And you exist within it. Calm. Still. Unchanging. You close your eyes. The light remains. The room remains. Everything remains. And slowly, there is nothing more to notice. Nothing more to question. Only stillness. Only quiet. Only this.